You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is November 28th, 2023 meeting of the LaPorte County Planning Commission. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Thank you. We'll call this evening's November 28th meeting to order. Mr. Bigi, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay. Roll call, please.
Rita Beauty.
Present.
John Carr.
Here.
Harold Parker.
Present.
Earl Cunningham.
Present.
Jeff Wright.
Present.
Deb Vance. Here. Glenn Minnick.
Can you hear me?
Yes. You're muted, Glenn.
Here.
All right.
We have a quorum.
Okay. Thank you. We need a motion for the approval for the agenda for this evening.
I make a motion to approve the agenda. Harold Parker.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. Approval of last month's minutes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Motion carries. Okay. Petition number 1. Last month we had petition number 1. It was tabled, and it is first on the agenda this evening. So from the board, we need a motion from the board to take it off of the table.
I make a motion that we take it off the table.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second.
Okay, thank you. All right, any discussion from the board on petition number 1, which is D&M Excavating, represented, respectfully petition the Plan Commission for a 39 lot with 1 outlet major subdivision called Sable Estates. So, is there any discussion from the board this evening regarding this petition number 1?
I think we need a motion before there's discussion.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Motion for take that off the table.
Right, but a motion either way in the discussion, the ultimate topic.
All in favor?
To take it off the table, we don't need a vote.
There's a motion and second.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're taking off the table. Sorry, I got ahead of you.
So if we have a motion and a second to take it off the table, all those signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed?
Nay.
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 Okay, we're going to need a roll call for the motion as to whether to take the petition number 1 off of the table.
Rita Beauty.
Yes.
Earl Cunningham.
Nay.
Harold Parker.
Yes.
Deb Vance.
No.
Jeff Wright.
Yes.
John Carr.
No.
Glenn Minnick.
Yes.
That's 4-3. In favor.
The statute's clear that you need a majority of the entire commission, even if they're not present. So you need 5 votes for it to be removed.
Take it off the table. And Mr. Haney is not available yet because he was in a meeting this evening in Indianapolis, I believe. So
We could
at this point in time, it is.
To the next meeting then, isn't it?
Remains on the table.
move it to the end and see if Joe.
Can I make a motion to table it until April of next year?
Second.
Wait, give me a second here. I don't think you can because the motion to take it off the table was indefinite when it was made last month. And the motion to take it off died for lack of majority tonight. So it remains on the table. We can't vote on it until it's taken off the table.
Thank you.
Okay, so we leave it on the table. And it will just be heard again next month then?
Yes, it'll remain on the agenda so long as it stays on the table.
Okay. And unfortunately, we do not have a meeting in December, so this will put this on the agenda for January of 2024. Okay. Okay, at this point in time, then this petition number 1 for D&M excavating will be held in January of 2024. Okay, thank you guys. All right, petition number 2, Great Lakes Capital LLC and Frank and Francis Sylvinski, represented by Abernathy, respectfully petition the Plan Commission to rezone from B3 to M2 the property located west of 9626 West, 400 North, Michigan City, Indiana, Cool Spring Township, parcel 4605 16 126 001 000 046.
Notice adequate.
Okay, thank you. Petitioners, if you'd like to come to the podium and please state your name and your address.
Hi there, Chris Galuski, Avonmarsh, 315 West Jefferson Boulevard, South Bend, Indiana, 46601. I'm accompanied by Isaac Hall. He's an analyst for Great Lakes Capital. He's the developer, and Steve Ruby, who's a landscape architect from Avonmarsh. So this petition is we're seeking to do a large industrial development, large investment. It's in an area that's already developed commercially. It's off an east-west thoroughfare that connects with a major intersection just off 421 and 94. If you saw in your packet, the style of the building is going to be very aesthetically pleasing with landscaping. So it may not look like the traditional industrial building. It will look more like the current development that what you see out there in that area. I also understand that even though there's no industrial in this area right now, to the south of this parcel, it's the potential for that to develop industrial is pretty significant as well. This is an area with existing utilities and existing commercial traffic. So even though it's not the commercial use, it fits the nature of that area quite well.
Nice.
So just wanted to share a little of the technical side of things of per the statute of why it might fit in that area. And Isaac will give you a little explanation on kind of the type of use and some of the details of the structure itself.
Sir, do we have a beacon on that, or all do we got these floor plans? Do we have an overall beacon or anything
There was,
an overall view from the sky?
there's Harold, here's one here. It's in that
We got
packet.
these two things.
Yeah, there's a colored one. It's in the stapled packet there. About the 4th page back, there's a color.
Sorry.
Yep.
It's okay.
So it's kind of tucked.
Still pretty narrow
I'm sorry.
to see the complexed area there. I'd just like to see more of a picture where it's going to fit in.
Gotcha.
We'll see about getting something on the overhead.
Yep, give me 1 second.
Needs to be, all we see is a square, and
Ashley's gonna get that for us.
Nice. There we go. Zoom on a little.
There you go.
Right there.
Yeah. So as you can see, there's not much in the terms of residential development. I believe there is a house adjoining, but in that general vicinity, it is definitely trended commercial development over that time. So again, we think that this, and then the M2 use, the purpose of the M2 is just so we can have the most intensity of height, bulk, least amount of setbacks, just to make the most of the development of that property.
so is there going to be a lot of truck traffic with this?
Isaac, maybe that's something you can.
Yeah, you're right.
Good afternoon, Isaac Hall, 7410 Aspect Drive in Granger, Indiana, representing Great Lakes Capital. So this would be a spec development, so we would go ahead and start construction without an end tenant in mind. So that would really determine the truck traffic that would be used at this site. The larger building on the site plan would be more geared towards a logistics type user or a warehouse, if you will. But the smaller building on the north side of the site plan there would be more like for a contractor who needs an office in the front and then a warehouse in the back, or like a lumber liquidators that has a showroom in the front and then utilizes warehouse space in the back. So if that answers your question about traffic in there.
Well, truck traffic's gonna have the main road too, you know.
Correct.
We don't wanna bust it right up. Is there a drain through the middle of that town? It looks like we got a ditch or a drain or something.
There
Is that?
a ditch.
And you're covering that too, taking that down the side of it or what?
Yeah. Obviously, when we get to the point of site development, any surface water existing would be handled, whether that's incorporated into the existing storm detention or rerouted. But obviously, if the building's going to be on top of that, it can't be present in its way. It is not a regulated drain, but just surface water.
I don't know the specific address, but if you go north from there on Cleveland Avenue on the west side, this kind of looks like, from the picture, a similar development to that. Is that about the same size?
That's correct. Holiday Development did this same type of building, a precast concrete warehouse structure. It would be very similar to that type of design, yes.
Thank you. And that's approximately, what, 3/4 of a mile
Yeah.
north
Yep.
on the west side of Cleveland Avenue?
Correct.
Thank you.
Okay. Any more questions from the board at this time?
This is a preliminary, goes through all the stuff yet, doesn't it? So if ever come back to us then or what?
No, this is a rezone.
This is just a rezone, that's
Yeah,
all.
so, yeah, you'll make whatever you vote will be a recommendation of the county commissioners.
Can we let the record show that Joe Haney has joined the meeting?
Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you. I apologize for my tardiness.
And the third partner you have with you here is, his area of expertise is?
Civil engineering. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead. Steve.
Oh, this third partner.
Hi, Steve Ruby, Admirage Consulting, 315 West Jefferson, South Bend, Indiana, 46601.
Talk to the mic, so make sure we get it recorded.
But you want me to repeat that? Is that 315 West Jefferson, Steve Ruby, Admirage Consulting, 315 West Jefferson, South Bend, Indiana, 46601. I am project manager on the project. My responsibility is to oversee any site development pieces of this and the intimacy of the project itself as it develops. So, are there any questions for me?
Any other questions at this time?
What is on the left there of your site? Is that a house or is that another business? No, just next, yeah, you're going the right way with the cursor. Yeah.
So immediate left is open farm field currently. I don't know what that business is. Is that a hotel?
Hotel?
Just south of Walmart,
Yep.
you know, a couple hotels there.
Okay. All right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any remonstrators for or against petition number 2? Okay, please step forward and state your name and address.
Jason Wood, excuse me, Jason Wood, 12216 South 89th Avenue, Palos Park, Illinois, 60464. My family owns the land across the street, and we're just very concerned about what this would do to the property value. I can show you where I have it. I have our, beacon, but that's our, that property right there is ours. So we own 16 acres right there. We were trying to sell it pre-COVID, but things just fell apart, a couple deals. We've relisted it for sale, just doing it by owner, just family land. And our only concern is just what are they gonna do there? It just seemed very vague. And would that hurt our property value? I don't know. So just bringing that up, and if we get more clarification of what they're gonna use it for, is it gonna be a recycling center? I mean, it can be anything under that zoning, correct?
I think right now it's a spec building, so until they get a tenant.
But that tenant could be anyone doing anything. I mean, that's the only concern that the family.
Well, there is, under the M2 directory, you can get online and look at it. And M2 tells you what's permitted and not permitted, or if a special exception is required.
It just seems pretty wide. I mean, it
is pretty broad.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah. I mean, there isn't.
Hey, I'm just letting you know where it is. No.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So, but we just got the notification like a week and a half ago, or 2 weeks ago. So, just sort of last minute. But
Okay.
Just want to voice that concern.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Are there any other remonstrators for or against the petition? Okay. Hearing none at this time. What is the board's pleasure at this time?
Madam President,
Are we open for discussion here on this? Oh, we already did that?
But if
Okay.
you would like to discuss more, you're more than welcome to discuss more.
Oh, well, Johnny come lately.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It's that particular spot along that whole stretch between Franklin 421 and County Road 950, Cleveland Road Extended. That's all very prime development area for business. And I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me to drop a manufacturing in there that we don't know what it's going to be, right in the heart of some of the best business property on the south side of Michigan City.
Still vacant.
I would counter that by saying that's why I asked him. They have almost identical situation 3/4 of a mile north, closer to the city itself, on the west side of Cleveland Avenue. And I presume that they're building it as a spec building, but if they were gonna put in a recycling center, they'd still have to come to the zoning board. I mean, it's not like we're just approving anything they wanna put in there, correct?
Right. Depending on what it is, it could require a special exception or a variance. Like we discussed, the table is pretty broad. So we're speculating as to who might go in there. But I don't have any concerns of spot zoning, having checked the surrounding zoning. And I think we're all familiar with the rendering of the facility that was provided to us.
I, for one, I live halfway between LaPorte and Michigan City, so I'm pleased that someone from out of town is speculating to make investments in our county. That's a good sign as far as I'm concerned.
Well, the other commissioner is absolutely right. It's empty now, but across the other way, it was empty for 45 years, at least since I've been here, and they ended up building a $400 million hospital there. So just by virtue of being empty, doesn't mean that somebody wouldn't, in a short period of time, come in and put another business in there. And I'm not opposed to manufacturing. It's just jobs are great and wonderful if you can get them in, but.
This isn't necessarily manufacturing. It's, as you said, it could be a construction company that needs a front office and yet a back area for storage and minor assembly, right? I mean, we pretty much don't have any control. Somebody builds a building, is gonna rent it out later. They have to go through those hoops, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, and if I might add, if you look at the grid, and the gentleman mentioned the concern about the activity, I'm going to generalize this, but if it's messy, smelly, contains chemicals, they all require special exceptions, so they got to go in front of the BZA. Okay, just so the commission's aware of that.
Okay. All right. Any further discussion?
Madam President, I make a motion that we approve the petition for Great Lakes Capital LLC and Frank and Francis Zovinski. Respectfully, the petition of Plan Commission to rezone from B3 to M2, the property located west of 9626 West 400 North, Michigan City, Indiana, Cool Spring Township, parcel 46-05-16-126-001.000-046.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 I'll be the lonely nay.
Any opposed? Okay. Motion passes.
I'd just like to make a comment. As this project goes further, I'd just like to stress the importance of working with local vendors, local contractors to build your facility. As much LaPorte County and the region area that you can utilize in the construction of this building is greatly appreciated. Thanks.
All right. Thank you. Good luck. You can come up to the podium, please.
Right. What commissioners meeting would this go to? What date? What's the date?
I will send you an email in the morning with the
Okay.
details.
Thank you.
They have one tomorrow, so their next one
Yeah.
won't be until 2 weeks from now.
Yep. Thank you.
All right.
Good luck, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Bring the job, we'll bring the workers, how's that? Right? That what you
right.
wanted to say?
All right. Any old business that we need to mention?
Not for me.
Okay. Any new business? All right. The only thing that I have that was brought to our attention is back in 2008, there was a change in the commission at that time for the Plan Commission for rule changes that at the beginning of the year now, so we've got a whole new venue here coming up, that in the event a board member would miss 2 consecutive meetings, then the appointing body would be notified by the building commissioner's office of that participant's lack of participation, and action is then required. So that was a motion for a rule change on there. So next year, so we need to keep that in mind, that if there are any issues with that we need to take that into consideration.
Well, and I'll comment, since I'm not elected or appointed, that rule is real good. But when we were short in the Plan Commission, we couldn't get the entities to appoint a new person. And it stalled us out for a few months, as you can remember.
Struggling with that now with Purdue, so
Yeah.
yeah.
We can't have a guy living in Indianapolis.
Well,
The extension.
no. Okay. Any other new business?
No, ma'am.
All
I
right.
would like to thank our officer for
Yes.
keeping watch over it. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Yes. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. All right. Need a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you for the Zoom
Thank you.
people. Thanks, Glenn. Thanks, Deb. Thanks, Joe.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you all.